Hi there, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to the video. Another highly anticipated shoe, I think. Today we'll be talking about the Joker 2 GT from 361 Degrees. So retail price is set at $189, very expensive. The regular Joker 2 is 130 bucks. This is 190 bucks. I'm gonna leave you a link to their official site. 3 different colorways in the first batch of release. They should be available very soon. I said highly anticipated because for me at least, ever since I got the Joker 1 GT around March last year, it has consistently stayed at a #1 spot for me. There hasn't been another shoe that came close to shattering its place at the very top. That's how good the previous model was. And I've heard plenty of positive feedback from those of you who ended up getting a pair too. Just a fantastic all-around performer. GT in the name stands for guard tooling, by the way. Jokic has been rocking shoes that are typically designed for bigs, for obvious reasons. Nike didn't give him a signature shoe, 361 did. Plus his budget line, the Team Joker. Then this series has a premium, more guard-oriented version of the regular Joker line. Does this new one go right up there? Let's get started. As to how the Joker 2 GT performs, cushion is absolutely delicious. This was the standout aspect, or one of the standout aspects of the Joker 1 GT. On this year's version, it's still full-length CQT Extreme, their flagship setup, which is extremely bouncy. They combined this foam with quick light. The name really doesn't matter. Just know that you get a strong kickback in both the forefoot and heel, responsive all the way, this missile. Compared to the previous model, I'll go straight into the difference between the two. The Joker 2 GT has more of a rounded shape, so the way it creates contact or receives impact from the floor feels smoother. You can roll your feet around against the floor in a more fluent way. Joker 1 GT is more like a straight up pure vertical bounce, and it is incredibly comfy on feet. 2 GT feels more subtle, a little bit more of a firm type of bounce, but the level of bounciness remains the same. Hope that makes sense. I know some guys that I play with specifically prefer a stiffer responsive midsole instead of a really soft and plush responsive midsole. And if that's the case for you, you might like the 2 even more. Versus the regular Joker 2, cushion on the GT is better for sure. Weight is about average. For size 10.5, they're about 415 grams for each shoe. That is a tiny bit heavier than the Joker 1 GT. It feels more bottom loaded. Makes sense, because remember they technically added a dual setup. Definitely not a heavy shoe though, much lighter than the regular Joker 2. Traction is excellent. Amazing grip. Dust pickup is totally manageable based on my experience. Actually, it doesn't even pick up dust, just like the previous version. This is their RPU also, not traditional rubber. For those who have any of the recent Li Ning or Wave Wave shoes that use GCU, this right here is essentially the same concept. If I was to pick, RPU from 361 is even better because it stays immaculate. Another top tier hoop shoe, the Wave Wave 12, that GCU also collects a significantly bigger amount of dust on the same court, which is why I give this shoe a slight edge. 10 out of 10 traction on the Joker 2 GT. Super loud and squeaky. Very, very consistent. For outdoor use, I am skeptical about that because it feels pretty soft in hand. Plus, given this nasty price, I wouldn't suggest bringing it right outdoors. For sizing, 361 shoes, I almost always go true to size. Same applies here with this model. You can go with your normal sneaker size. Let's say you wear a US 9.5 in most of your basketball shoes, get the 9.5 here as well. In the midfoot section, it does curve in a little bit, but thanks to the flexibility of this upper, which we're gonna get into now, this is still a standard true to size fit. Not too narrow, rounded toe box shape. A lot of their other basketball shoes have an awkwardly big toe box. This is snug, but not too tight. I personally have slightly wide and very flat feet. My true size is a perfect 1-to-1 fit. When it comes to the upper material, I did have some concerns before getting the shoes in. On the side, it did like a skeleton design, kind of. I was worried that this part might cause some pinching, be a little too plasticky. Nope, that is not the case. Very soft and stretchy as it turns out. This upper is extremely comfy and forgiving. No discomfort in any particular area, and it doesn't feel weird or anything. Really smooth on the interior. Nicely padded around the ankle. There's no sharp piece sticking out or hurting my feet. Some people didn't like the extra tab at the back on the Joker 1 GT. They removed it. Breathability is about average. Not that impressive to be honest, but it's doable. My feet didn't get too stuffing hot after a long sesh. They kept these thick, I like to call it spider-like laces from the regular Joker 2. Length is perfect. You can just tie them out normally. So long story short, I am impressed with the material here. Top-notch comfort, supportive enough, no issues whatsoever. Overall, this is without a doubt an S-tier shoe. It goes right up there among the best performers released this year. Nearly perfect in both its cushion and traction still. Arguably the two most important aspects of a basketball shoe. Easily the best product offering from the brand. Tech-wise, it's a complete package too. Integrated carbon fiber plate, TPU shell for lockdown, 3D support, and micro injection for the upper. This is as fancy as 361 shoes will ever get. Key changes. Smoother and more rounded here. Core feel has improved, but more firmness. The Joker 1 GT has better step-in comfort and more of an immediate bouncy effect. Man, it's hard. I know the question is which one, right? Your personal preference plays a huge factor. I might still go with the 1 GT, but like I said, judging them by their performance, they're both elite. Hoop shoe of the year status, still there. Okay, as usual, I love to hear your reaction, thoughts, and if you eventually ended up getting a pair, let me know how you feel about the Joker 2 GT in the comments, please. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.